Hello, Australia. Aye. Finally learned a couple words that we don't use over here in the States, except when referring to an insect. One of them is grub. The other one is to daub. Don't daub on your mate. It's like, what? What? What's the English translation of daub? Oh, don't snitch, mate. Don't be a tattletale. I get a daub on me, mate. I know Australians don't talk that way. Australians hate it when you actually talk that way and try to pretend to be an Australian, which I know I'm not, obviously. By the way, I love Australians, and the country is very beautiful, except for the parts where they filmed Mad Max movies that made it look like a post-apocalyptic nuclear wasteland. I'm sorry. Just kidding. Something actually really bad, I shouldn't have laughed at all in this video, and it's actually tyrannical, and it sets an earmark. Kind of like if you see a blinding white flash and the sky suddenly turns red, you might want to like run for your basement because, you know, like a nuke would went off, or, you know, a sign. Like when you hear tanks rolling down the street from far off in the distance, like they did in France in the 1940s. Now would have been the time to run, like gather up your important stuff and run. And something like that's actually happened in Australia. I asked my Aussie mate, I said, is this an old video or is this a new video? Two Aussies I asked. I said, oh no, it's a new video, mate. I'll put a link in the description below to the video. I think she's like the head person of Queensland Police. And I read all the comments below. There's like over 100, and basically they're all from Aussies. Here's a great comment that tells you everything. I don't remember going to sleep and waking up in the Soviet Union next day. Every Australian has the freedom to believe what we want to believe. It's pure evil. I'm going to play you the audio for it, and I'll post the link to the video below, and I'd like to comment at least a little bit on it here. See.
Before, if there's anybody out there that knows of someone that might be showing concerning behaviour around, conspiracy theories, anti-government, anti-police, conspiracy theories around COVID-19 vaccination, as what we're seeing with the train payment, we'd want to know about. We want to know about that. And you can either contact police directly or go through Crime Stoppers.
Are you kidding me? This is the hardcore, the book 1984, the Orwell book. This is 1984 fascism of the worst kind. This is just pure evil. If you see anybody posting anti-government, anti-police, or cove conspiracy rhetoric, give us a call. We want to know about it. This is thought police. Stasi, Gestapo, thought police, totalitarian evil of the highest order. I have to give a congrats, sarcastic congrats out to Australia. You're the first Western society to genuinely implement outright thought police tactics. Australia also too is, and I'm not picking on Australia. I love Australians. I always wanted to visit there. I get along great with the Aussies that email me and contact me, and agreeing with them on basically everything. The people of Australia. And Australia just proved to everybody in the world, in case they had a clue, what the difference between a citizen is and a subject. Show your kids this, everybody. It's like, look, little Susie, look, little Johnny, this is how a subject is treated instead of a citizen. There's no greater proof that the country has fallen than this. As the Aussies would say, and of course I have no idea what daub means. Hey, daub on your mate. In other words, this is this is back 1940s World War II, pre-World War II actually, and during. Where like every neighbor was looking out the window at their other neighbor with binoculars, and on the other neighbor was doing the same to you. This is proof that Australia has fallen. I'm sorry, but Australia has fallen. And I'm going to say something out to the United States citizens regarding this. This is why, and I'll let you guess. If you don't have a brain enough to figure it out, then there's something wrong with you. This is why every U.S. citizen, this is the 100% reason why you never give them up, ever, 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 ever. You never, ever ever give them up. I'll let you figure out what they give them up as a reference to. There's so many Australians invited me to come see them. And, you know, other than the fact that it's astronomically expensive, I would have been there already. And I always wanted to visit Australia, but now I never want to visit Australia. And I know that people don't represent, you know, their government and vice versa. This is just evil. I don't know what Australians are going to do about this. When you've given them up, the answer is you don't do anything. You know, you could hold up some signs and protest, but apparently that's even illegal in Australia, because I've seen thousands of examples of that. This is some of the most reckless, despotic, totalitarian evil I've seen in the modern age. I mean, obviously, you know, thousands of heads cut off in like a blank third world country that I won't mention. Obviously, that's a horrible evil. I've seen these concentration, excuse me, confinement camps. I forget what the Aussies are calling it. You know, where you have no freedom, they take you against your will, and they put you there and tell you what to do, when to do it. Way worse than prison, by the way. People that have committed no actual crime. And, you know, I know the United States did that to Japanese citizens back in World War II. They had these internment camps. Like, yeah, we're going to round you up, stick you there. You could be okay. Yeah, we're going to totally violate your rights. So, don't think I'm, you know, wagging my finger at Australia. I could talk all day long about the United States and the corrupt government that we have, and especially the fact that old Elon Muskrat recently hardcore proved that the FBI had been paying off Twitter to censor all sorts of stuff, and it's just undeniable hardcore fact that the government, totally in violation against the Constitution, totally illegal, told Twitter, and not the only entity, it's just the one because Elon Musk bought them. They released those facts. There's other social media entities, basically all of them, you know, that our government, completely against the Constitution, completely illegally, told what to censor and when to censor it, and, you know, that's totalitarian evil as well. But when you have a key leader of the QLD wanting to, hello, Queensland Police Department, I'd like to daub on me neighbour. I heard him slag off the government the other day, and he said he wasn't too fond of it. Could you come and arrest him, please? Oh, you'll be there right away? Okay. That's just evil. She said, have you seen anybody posting anti-government, anti-police, cove conspiracy rhetoric? We want you to contact us. Okay there. So the government of Australia has flat out admitted that they're the Gestapo. And they want you to be a brown shirter daubing on all your neighbors. You know, I have never been to Australia, obviously not an Australian citizen. But if you don't recognize this as a red flag moment, kind of like the bombing of Pearl Harbor, right? Red flag moment in Australia that your government is completely against any... You know, one of the fundamental things that human beings have, regardless of whatever they live under, you know, they have bodily autonomy to think what they want and say what they want, take what they want, and not take what they want. That's just fundamental freedoms. When your government actually violates those fundamental rights, I'm not going to finish that sentence. I'll let you finish it yourself. So Australia has been given the ultimate warning. They want you to daub on your neighbor and call up, ask Mr. Police. This is not funny at all. I want to report my neighbor. Yes, he got beat up on without justification last week by the police, and he made an anti-police statement. Could you come and arrest him? Oh, yes, he doesn't seem to like the popo too much, because you beat up on him last month during that protest that they had, yeah? Yeah. Oh, yes, I think he has anti-government leanings. Could you come and arrest him, please, and stick him away in an internment camp? It's not funny at all. Tell me what you think, Australia and the rest of the world. Please, United States citizens, once again, please God, if you ever thought about giving them up, never, ever, ever, ever give them up. Because when you do, this is what happens. This is exactly what happens when you give them up. It's not my opinion or a feeling or belief. It's a fact. Someone right now is going, "Are you yelled into the microphone? I had my earbuds in. You popped my eardrums." I'm so sorry. It just pisses me off so much. It's just so sick and evil. It's hardcore evil. Merry Christmas. Jesus freaking... Good Lord. What the hell is wrong with this world? Evil. Hardcore evil.